Hello, vinyl community. My name's Edward Tommy Sosa. Excuse me. I live in Texas. This is my first video and introduction to the VC. I've been on the VC for quite a while now and enjoy seeing other people post their records. Y'all have a very nice collection. I've learned from looking from your collection and y'all sharing things and insights, so I do appreciate that. I have been collecting records again for at least 4 years. During that time when they said that the vinyl records were going to be gone or no longer exist, and then everything was going over to CD, I got rid of my records. And yes, of course, I regretted that happening, but oh well, it's done. And now I'm back collecting vinyl and enjoy crate digging. I enjoy going to flea markets or wherever I can find dollar bins and spend some time, spend some money, and find some great gems. And I'm glad to, as you can tell, that I got some of the LPs that I used to own back again. And so I am glad to be part of this group and look forward to hopefully making another video like this. But I pulled some records to give y'all an idea that I listen to all kinds of genres of music. But lately here I've been really getting into a lot of prog rock music. I thought prog rock ended at Pink Floyd, Yes, and Genesis, but watching y'all post other prog rock albums, I was like, wow, there's other groups out there. And so I went looking for these groups, for instance, like Koran or Man, and I can't think of some of the other groups at the moment here, but from y'all's post, and then that's how I learned about other prog rock bands and other genres of music that I've come to like. Well, let me go ahead. Excuse me, I'm going to pull my records. A little stack that I pulled out. And I don't know if you can hear this in the background, but right now I'm playing Neil Young, Time Fades Away. I'm a big fan of Neil Young. I like a lot of his records. Haven't found a record that I thought was something I dislike or boring. I end up liking everything Neil does. He's a great musician, a great songwriter, and has inspired me. The next record I have here is one. This was my very first. Now, this is not the one I owned when I first got it, but this was my very first record as a kid, and I really enjoy having this back. I remember when I got this record as a kid. I was little. I didn't understand that the Beatles had broke up, but my mom gave me this album for my birthday, and I said, "That's not the Beatles, Mom. The ones that I know, they don't have beards." And she laughed so hard and said, "Son, don't you understand? The Beatles broke up back in '68 or '69." And so that kind of shocked me, but this was my very first album. My very first records were Beatle records. And I enjoyed the post from this VC member. And he is one of my favorite guitar players, and that's Derek Higgins. And I'm not sure if you can see that, but this is his album Flyover. I really enjoy his music. This is a good album. And another artist that I like a lot that also inspires me a lot is Brian Eno. This is his album, Taking Tiger Mountain by Strategy. It took me a while to remember how to say that correctly, but I don't know if you can see that very well. But this is another record that I really like, and I'm glad I have in my collection. Here's another album that I recently got at a flea market. It's a double album. I'll open it up. and it's the early years of Al Stewart, and I like a lot of his stuff. So when I found this, to me it looked rare, so I grabbed it. $3, not a bad deal. I like folk music, and I was glad to find this too at a flea market. And this is the best of Eric Anderson. Good musician, good songwriter. One of my favorite prog groups, and I was glad to find this too. A promo copy of Genesis, 3 Sides Live. One of my favorite live albums to listen to. I also have it on compact disc, and so I listen to it in the car. Another favorite musician of mine, guitar player, Wes Montgomery. I was glad to find this for $1, A Day in the Life. I like this photo of him in the back. It's in very, very good condition. And another musician who is an inspiration to me, and I like a lot of his records, and this is one that I was listening to earlier today, Bob Dylan, the soundtrack to Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid. Now, I've never seen this movie, but I really like this soundtrack. It is one of my favorites. And next, one of my favorite groups of the British Invasion. I'm a big fan. Ray Davies is a very talented musician. This is one of my favorite albums. Mono. It is a reissue. The Kinks. The Village Green Preservation Society. Very nice. A record that I listen to for inspiration. This is a very good, solid album. A very good Kinks album. A must-have if you're a Kinks fan. Now the next group is another group that I really like a lot. And I think this album is like early songs they did. I'm not really for sure, but they have different musicians that were coming and going maybe out of this group. I don't really know too much about it. But another favorite group of mine, The Nice. And yes, you can see where whoever had this, but I don't mind. I mean, this is, to me, vintage. A nice piece to have in my collection. And I pulled out a live album. I think live albums are greatest hits. The best stuff they play is live. And this one right here is a really solid live album. And I was glad to find it for $1. And it is the Outlaws. Bring It Back Alive. Killer version of Green Grass and High Tides on this. Very, very solid group. Nice live album. And I really enjoy classical music. And here recently I started to pick up classical albums again. I really like the Gramophone label. And I found this for $1. Very nice. I love the cover. It is Midnight in Moscow. And I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's a really nice cover. The record is in very good shape. And a lot of these gramophone albums that I've known here, that I've been collecting here recently, they're great to listen to kick back. So, this is my introduction to the VC. Again, thank you guys for having this group. Again, I really enjoy seeing y'all's posts and videos, and this is my first, so maybe there will be another one coming. I don't know, but thank you for your time and have a good day.